Judy Collins sings and writes about her life in her new book and CD collection. It's called Voices. Judy Collins, it's always great to see you. Welcome to Today.
Thanks, I'm glad to see you.
People talk about you and they say she is so wonderful at interpreting the words and songs of other people. I looked through the CD and the titles. You wrote all these songs. Why?
I did. I've been writing songs since about 1967, but I was a late bloomer. I first recorded Leonard Cohen's songs and Joni Mitchell's songs. But then Leonard encouraged me to write myself. And the first song that I wrote, plus 11 other songs, are in my new songbook. All my own songs.
I know that family, as it should in most people's lives, played an enormous role in your own, especially your dad. He had a great impact on your life. Tell me a little about him.
Well, here, I'll tell you in the song, shall I?
Sure.
My father always promised us that we would live in France. We'd go boating on the Seine, and I would learn to dance. We lived in Ohio then. He worked in the mines. On his dreams like boats we knew we would sail in time. Of course, that's what we call poetic license. It wasn't exactly like that, but the feelings were the same.
You wrote that, I understand, about 3 weeks before he passed away. He never heard it, did he?
He never did hear the song. I wrote a sort of memoir about every song in this CD collection with the songbook idea, a bit like my original songbook, but this, of course, is all my own songs. And I talk about how I wrote the song, and I kept thinking I was going to see him in a few weeks. And unfortunately, he never heard it. At least he never heard it on this planet, but I imagine he hears it all the time.
You may have heard it now. People think of the 1960s and they say, boy, she was it. She was at the front of every movement. She was the most popular thing around. I don't know that a lot of people stop and think about some of the difficult times you went through in the 1960s. You lost custody of your son. He was 4.5 at the time. And he later took his life in 1992. In the time since that tragedy, have you at all come to understand him more and his life more and put that tragedy into perspective some?
Oh, I think that's a lifetime job, and I think, yes, I understand a lot more about it than I did. And it puts everything else into perspective because it makes all of life then so valuable and so precious. And to help survivors is something that I am very concerned about.
You wrote one of the songs here, and it's called Born to the Breed. It's for your son, isn't it?
It is actually. And it's about young people wanting to go and do their own thing. I was only 90 the morning you were born, with your hair fine and red, your eyes like my own, barely a woman with only a song. I can't sing to keep you smiling, held you all night long. It's one of many songs about my family, as you said.
How much has this helped, this piano and this voice, in getting you through some of the tougher times?
I think it's helped enormously. I don't know exactly what I would have done if I hadn't been a piano player and eventually a songwriter. I wrote a song in 1988 before I wrote my novel, Shameless, while I had actually started writing it. And in Voices, I talk about how that song came about, The Blizzard. It's about transcendence, and I think the piano and how it's influenced me has had a lot to do with being able to transcend some of the tougher things. I'll sing you a little bit of it.
How about if you sing it as we go to break? Judy Collins, great seeing you.
Colorado. When the world leaves you shivering.
This is Today on
and the
NBC.
blizzard blows. When the snow flies